give this another good mixing, and that's your omelette ready. Milk, salt, black pepper, and then we're going to take this pan when the coals are hot, on top of the cob, a bit of butter on it, a tiny touch of olive oil. What the olive oil does is it stops the butter from burning, so you can have that lovely brown butter flavor to your omelette, and the olive oil will just stop it burning too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pan, don't forget your handle, and it's amazing. It is so hot outside. I think the temperature is in the upper 30s, 36, 37 degrees. This thing is already incredibly hot. It just shows how it absorbs heat. So put that on top of the cob, and we'll wait 5 minutes till it's really hot. Butter on top, dab of olive oil, and ready for our omelette. So first we take a nice dollop of butter, and just look at that sizzling away. Be generous with the butter. It really enhances the flavor of the omelette. Let that melt. And to this I'm going to add, as I mentioned, just a little bit of olive oil to stop the butter from burning. So that'll take a couple of seconds to melt. Well, the butter and olive oil is really nice and hot, and now we're going to pour the egg mixture onto the skillet. Ready for this monster omelette. What I do with the omelette is I pull the edges inwards so that the egg that's not cooked on top can flow onto the hot surface and cook. So you get it sort of evenly cooked quite quickly. Look at that, this beautiful, succulent, moist, fluffy egg. And it's set so quickly on this. We're going to put some of our yellow peppers, green peppers, some nice thick wedges of cheese. I like the cheese to be nice big chunks so it's melted and gooey inside. Red peppers, and some spring onion. And once again, a bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fold the omelette in half. Look at that, this monster ostrich egg omelette. And I'm going to pop it on a plate now. A bit of salt and pepper once again just on the outside, and ready to eat. What I'm using is, I'm using a cloth just to lift this up, because there's always an art to getting an omelette on the plate. The easiest way is your plate towards your omelette, flip it over. A massive cheese and pepper ostrich egg omelette, and that was done in about 5 minutes. And unbelievably, once again, out in the middle of the nowhere with cob, so versatile, and just another masterpiece from a cob. I'm standing on top of Pole Rock. This is probably one of the most unique places I've managed to drag my cob along to. And I think I'm probably the first person ever to cook on top of this granite outcrop. This is a fault line that runs about 250 kilometers up towards the west coast. These are massive granite volcanic plugs that the soil around has been eroded off, and they're 150 meters high. They stick out of the ground, and we've just spent a good 3/4 of an hour climbing up this granite rock, and we're sitting now at the top overlooking the Paarl Wellington winelands. Absolutely beautiful, the heart of the winelands of the Cape. Behind us is Paarl, and some of the most beautiful red wines are produced here. And as well as this, up further north towards the mountains is an incredible lamb area of Piketberg and that. And the dish we're going to do up top of the mountain is going to be very simple. Just rack of lamb with griddled asparagus, some shredded vegetables, and tossed with a nice leafy salad. We kept it simple because less ingredients to carry up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to roast the lamb on the roasting rack with the lid on for about 15-20 minutes, so it's nice and pink and succulent inside. Then we're going to use the griddle, and we're going to griddle the asparagus with a bit of olive oil and black pepper, and the vegetables with a bit of just ginger and a dab of garlic, and then assemble the dish and enjoy it as the sun goes down behind us in the direction of Cape Town. The rack of lamb that I have here, I've spiced it with some crushed herbs and a bit of chili, olive oil, salt and pepper. I did that down the bottom because I didn't want to bring all that with me. And I'm going to be cooking that. I'm going to take the roasting base tray, put it on top of the hot coals. I'm then going to put the roasting rack on top and the lamb on top of this. Put the lamb upside down, the fat side first, so they can really get brown and crisp. And as the heat builds up, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm just going to leave it and let it slowly cook away under the cob. And it should take 15 minutes or so. When that's finished, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to change to the griddle pan, and I'm going to do the asparagus and the vegetables on the griddle pan, and then we'll cut up the lamb chops and enjoy them as the sun sets over the mountains here. So first of all, we put the plate on our roasting rack, the lovely lamb rack that we've got. This side has been crusted with herbs, this side is just plain. I've just put a bit of salt and black pepper, but look at that, lovely lamb, nice thin bit of fat, not too fatty. Up in the mountains of the Piketberg area where this Karoo lamb comes from, these lamb mostly live on little herbal bushes, and it's got a unique flavour to it, very different to any other lamb that you can taste. It's quite sort of spicy, it's really nice. And we're going to let it build up temperature and slowly roast away. We'll just have a look at it every now and then and turn it, and we're going to relax and enjoy the view. Okay, the lamb's been, I can hear it sizzling away for about the last 10 minutes or so. What I'm going to do now is the little roasting rack, I'm going to remove the roasting rack so that the meat drops onto the hot disc underneath, just so that I can seal it nicely and start getting it nice and brown and crisp, get that fat nice and crisp. So I'm just going to remove that and then drop the lamb directly onto the hot plate below. So now the roasting rack's been removed. I'm seating the lamb on both sides, and it's just under medium now, and it's going to be beautiful and pink inside. Another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll start on the vegetables on our griddle plate with the olive oil, a bit of salt and pepper, a bit of ginger, a touch of garlic, and we'll roast these off and then put the dish together. I've got the griddle plate on now. I'm just going to drizzle a bit of olive oil on and then add the asparagus. A little bit of a ginger and garlic mixture on top of the asparagus. Salt. A little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to put the lid on and let the asparagus slowly griddle with the lid on top and cook through. Well, it's getting dark now, and I've cut up the rack of lamb. I'm warming it up on the griddle again. The asparagus is ready, the veg is ready, and the salad's here. So I'm going to quickly plate this dish so we can eat up and head down the mountain. The griddled asparagus, we can just place on top of the vegetables and the salad leaves. The smells are absolutely incredible. And then our lamb, I'm going to take the rack of lamb bones that we've cut and just lay it up on here. Look at that, our succulent rack of lamb done on top of Pole Rock in the sunset. And we're going to tuck into this and head on back down the mountain. So another unique place, only with our cob.